Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here in the secret army of General Knoxx on Borderlands. Our level 69 scaled playthrough, and this is part 3, I believe so. Yeah. So I've been playing this, and I don't want to say I forgot how fun it was, but it's it's a lot more. There's a lot more enjoyment, I think, to be had in the first one overall than there is in the second game. Don't get me wrong, the second game is awesome and I enjoy it and I've played it a lot. But, there is some downsides to the first game. Like in the first game, all the guns kind of feel the same. Like, outside of their elemental effects, a Defiler feels like a Chimera, which feels like an Unforgiven, which feels like a Ares, and like a bitch kind of feels like a Hellfire, which feels like any other SMG in the game. Really, the only difference you have is maybe your combat and your assault shotguns. They feel a little bit different. But like in the second game, not every gun is as useful. Like you have a smaller percentage of end game guns that are grossly overpowered, whereas in this game, with the exception of a couple guns like the Hellfire, for instance, you could use just about any gun and get through the game. Sorry, yawning a little bit there. We're, as in 2, like you can use most of the guns, but some of them you're going to have a harder time with than others. But they all feel distinctly different. Hyperion SMGs feel different than Maliwan SMGs, and they feel different than TDR SMGs, and I do like that aspect. And then you have the different prefixes for accuracy and bullet speed and reload speed and blah 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 blah.
You should start your investigation at Lance Bunker to the north.
But
If you infiltrate the
overall,
base,
I
you may
would
be
say
able to
endgame
locate
in
some
this
record of the
game
access code.
has a lot. There's a lot more fun to be had. But that's not to say I don't have fun with the second game. I just needed a break from it. And they feel different enough too that like when you play the first game, you don't feel like you're playing. Or I should say, they feel different enough that when you play Borderlands 2, you don't feel like you're playing Borderlands 1.5. As I've stated in the past, I primarily play as the Siren characters, and Lilith doesn't feel anything like Maya, and Maya doesn't feel anything like Lilith. That being said, coming back to this game and playing as Lilith, I kind of miss phase lock a little bit. I really hope it's kind of out of all the action skills in both games, Maya's phase lock is probably my favorite, and it's the one that I've come to rely on pretty heavily. And for that reason alone, that's kind of why I really hope that they bring back some of the Vault Hunters at least in the third game, and not just start over with a new set of Vault Hunters all over again. But we'll see what they do there. I was gonna do.
This armory is the key to their invasion plan. If we destroy it, the cost to their bottom line could jeopardize their strategy. At the very least, it will buy the resistance, that is, me, time to prepare. I'll have more when you arrive. Athena, out.
Kind of got off the rails there. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, I know. I was going to start supplementing my Borderlands footage with Lords of Shadow 2, but I had a little bit of, for some reason, Lords of Shadow games don't play well with OBS, and as I stated, I think in the last video or the video before it, I kind of want to dabble in console game footage. So I broke down and I ordered a AverMedia Gamer Portable Pro, I think it's called. Uh, I'm sure anybody that's got any sort of tech knowledge or watches anybody on YouTube probably knows what I'm talking about. It's a just a little like portable USB device that you can plug your HDMI into, or there's a proprietary cable that they made just for the PlayStation 3, so that you can either record onto an SD card on the portable unit, or you can run it into a PC and record onto a hard drive. So that should be coming. Today's Wednesday. That'll be here tomorrow. So I'm gonna, once that comes in, I'm gonna start dabbling with that. Also, I kind of wanted to get at least one playthrough under my belt on Lords of Shadow 2, so I wouldn't have so much dilly-dallying. Kind of like in this video, I got kind of turned around and ass backwards and got lost for a minute doing one of the side quests, which I may cut that out of this or not. Depends whether or not I have anything interesting to discuss and need some more time to ramble. But that'll be coming tomorrow. I don't know how far into the game I am, but I'd like to get one playthrough done, and then I see there's a new game plus option, so I'll probably, once I finish the game, I'll probably do the new game plus and record that and upload it. I got a couple, as I said, I got a Wii U, so I don't know if I'll do any Wii U stuff. I don't know. I guess it depends what console games I bust out and clean the dust off of and play. As I said, you know, I don't really have a particular schedule. It's just whatever I find fun at the time. We'll see what happens. Also, you know, if anybody, like I said, has any questions or requests, you know, I'll do my best to fulfill them. Like I had somebody ask about the Chimera, doing a Chimera video, so I did that, you know. I think that's one of the benefits to being a small channel. It's pretty easy. If somebody asks you to, like, hey, can you do a video like this, you know, having one person ask you, it makes fulfilling comment requests pretty easy, as opposed to, you know, some of the bigger guys. They probably have, you know, I don't know, you want to think about how many people are asking them to do certain videos, but you know, I'll do what I can to try to get the video out in a timely fashion, and that's pretty much it. Now, like I have stated before, I work midnight, so usually if, you know, I notice most people, it seems like, I don't know if they're overseas or if they're just night dwellers, but it seems like most of my comment and such pop up overnight while I'm at work, so I might not always respond right away, but I will always try to respond, or I will respond to every comment the first chance I get. Not sure why you used that. That's the only thing I can say about this one, is rocket launchers definitely kind of, they don't seem as effective in this game as they are in the second game. And there's certain, you know, there's certain mechanics that worked better in the second game, like, you know, they implemented being able to move around albeit slow, and granted everybody backpedals like a mofo, but you kind of miss being able to move a little bit and fight for your life when you come back to this game. Which, since we're talking about game mechanics, and I was talking about Lords of Shadow 2, I was enjoying the game. I haven't got to the stealth segments that everybody in the reviews have been talking about, but I did get to a part, and this is one of my major complaints with third-person action games is do not stick me in a claustrophobic corridor with the camera shoved right up the character's asshole and throw 5 or 6 enemies at me. It's bullshit, it's tedious, and it's false difficulty, because nothing pisses me off more than having a combo interrupted because there's a character off, or there's an enemy off screen that I can't see that decides to lob a projectile at me and I can't block it because of a dumb-ass camera angle. But on the flip side too, you can have a wide open area with shit-ass camera angles and characters off screen that are going to shoot rockets at you. Ninja Gaiden 2! So far I'm enjoying the game, but like I said, it seems like I don't know if it gets better or worse as the game goes on, but that was one of the things that kind of really so far stuck out to me. Also, the climbing mechanics I noticed are a little twitchy. If you don't, maybe I have my stick sensitivity set too high, but it seems like if you don't let up on the stick immediately, he will continue ascending. And at the part that I'm at now, that resulted in a couple frustrating redos that I just decided I'm going to take a break and I'm going to make a Borderlands video real quick. And this all kind of comes around to the subject matter at hand, which is Borderlands. Borderlands 2 was at level 50 and to like 61, I think, was perfect for that game. It had a little bit of difficulty, and then for whatever reason they felt that enemies didn't regenerate health quick enough, which was stupid. So they increased the health regen with, I think it was the Digistruct Peak patch that came out right before that DLC. And then when they introduced the overpower levels, you know, you have like something crazy, like a 60% damage reduction, or enemies have a 60% damage reduction or something retarded like that. Which basically is false difficulty. You know, they're not making a game difficult through gameplay mechanics so that you have to outthink the enemy. That's what makes the difference, not some stupid ass let's give them huge health pools and make them bullet sponges shit. I hate that. I have Demon Souls and Dark Souls. I recently ordered Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, I think it's the Wii U game. And I hear the games are kind of challenging. Actually, truth be told, I don't know a whole lot about Monster Hunter. It just kind of looked neat, and I wanted an RPG for the Wii U. But I think the problem with Demon Souls is it doesn't so much suffer from, well, it's kind of like a 50-50, like the game's difficult, but I think the difficulty comes from the learning curve in that you can't cancel out of an animation. Like once you commit to an action, you're committed. And I think once you wrap your head around that mechanic, that makes it slightly easier. But at the same time, I think it's kind of slow, and I think that's where some of the difficulty comes from, is there's that slow, kind of clunky I gotta play it a little bit more to really make up my mind, but it's rewarding in that when you do, and that's kind of beating a dead horse. When you finally overcome the challenge in a game like Dark Souls, you feel pretty good, whereas like what I mentioned with Lords of Shadow 2 about that hallway scene, or that hallway segment, I didn't die, but it didn't like make me think, oh wow, that's hard, I gotta do better. It just pissed me off and frustrated me a little bit that I was almost getting my ass handed to me in a sling because I couldn't see, you know. And that kind of disappoints me because the first Lords of Shadow was hard, but it wasn't cheap hard. It was hard as in, as long as you paid attention, you blocked at the right time, you used the right combos, you were going to make it through the game. Where, you know, if you blocked incorrectly, or you didn't block, or you just used the same cookie cutter combo throughout the whole, or tried to use the same cookie cutter combo throughout the whole game, you were going to have a bad time. And this one, the combat's good, but it doesn't, it feels like the first game, but I don't know, there's something that's not jiving right with me, and I can't quite put my finger on it yet. I'm really not sure what it is. Like I said, I do like the game, but there's just something in there that's not clicking with me like the first game did. But then again, too, like, you know, Borderlands was a game that once I started playing it, I played the crap out of it. I played through it with all 4 characters. Borderlands 2, I played through the normal playthrough. I did okay, you know. And then towards the end game of playthrough, or of True Vault Hunter mode, it kind of, that's kind of when it started, like, something wasn't clicking with me. But then once I took the time and actually figured out, you know, this isn't Borderlands 1, and, you know, you have to play a little bit differently and readjust how you approach the game, then I was okay. And it clicked, and I enjoyed the game, been playing it for over a year. So maybe that's what'll happen with Lords of Shadow 2, I'm not sure yet, but you know, we'll see. Oh. See, right there, it would have been handy to be able to have that moving around thing a little bit during Fight for Your Life, but yeah. See, now Knoxx was a little bit harder than the rest of the game, as you see. I mean, I think I made it through Zombie Island. I went in the Fight for Your Life maybe once or twice, maybe more, I'm not 100% sure, but I never actually went down the whole way, whereas, like, I think this is my second respawn in this one. Not sure. I think it's my second respawn. Definitely at least my second respawn. So it's the enemies in Knoxx hit just a little bit harder than they did in Zombie Island. Change up the loadout a little bit here. Hopefully, I don't have the mission in this video, but hopefully when I get the mission to go after Ajax, maybe I'll get lucky and get an Ajax Ogre. Because that would be pretty awesome. You know, there was some broke-ass stuff. You know, everybody talks about the broken skills and whatnot in Borderlands 2. And when I was doing the Chimera video, there's some broke-ass shit in this, like, Lilith. I forget the name of the skill now off the top of my head. But one of her skills, sometimes you don't consume ammo, and, which is cool. But if she doesn't consume ammo for her last shot, you have an empty magazine and she doesn't reload automatically. And if you watch that Chimera video, you can see where I didn't catch that I was out and needed to reload, and had a couple times where I lined up a pretty good shot, went to click the mouse and nothing happened. And I don't understand why, you know, some of the stuff that they patched and didn't patch. Like in this game, they never patched the Armory. And, you know, you had 3 chances to get in there, which, I mean, for the most part, that's pretty fair. Plus, you had that little room in the Claptrap DLC that, while it didn't have as many chests as the Armory did, you still had a good bit of chests in it. And, you know, the game overall had a decent chance to drop legendaries. I don't understand why they felt the need to patch the treasure room in Captain Scarlet in the second one, which only really had like 6 really good chests and 8 chests. And even still, I mean, it wasn't like you were guaranteed a legendary every time. This area is big. This is where I get to turn around and a little ass backwards here. In this, drifters were scary in this one. When the Hammerlock DLC came out for Borderlands 2, and you know, you spawn in that area and you run down and drop down, start walking across that plane there to meet up with Hammerlock, and that drifter pops up. It's, you know, my initial reaction was like, oh fuck. But then it kind of went down like a chump. You know, each of the drifters in this DLC is like, they're harder than Arizona. You know, they're not quite Dexidious bad, but I don't think there's a drifter outside of Dexidious in Borderlands 2 that's as hard as the drifters in this game, and these are supposed to be just run-of-the-mill enemies. Why they didn't have any comms that regenerated ammo in Borderlands 2. That was something I could never figure out. I don't think anybody ever really got a straight answer on that one. Because that would have been handy, especially with the limited ammo pools in the second game. Well, for certain guns. Because actually, I think you might have more, well, I don't know. sniper rifles and rocket launchers, you definitely get less ammo. And then you have everything like, you know, E-Techs consume 2 per shot, or the bandit, or the shotguns, you know, if you got the bandit barrel or the, I think Jacob's barrel consumes 2, the bandit consumes, what, 3, and Torg barrel consumes 4 ammo, you know. You can chew through it pretty quickly. I like that little laugh. That and Maya's little laugh. See, that's why I think they should have all of the original Vault Hunter. Well, not the original, but you should have the 3 that are left from this game, and the 6 that are in Borderlands 2. Have all of them. Maybe make a new one so you have an even 10 Vault Hunters to choose from. Because, you know, with the capabilities of next-gen consoles and everything, like, I highly doubt you're going to see Borderlands 3 on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. You know, you could probably bump up the co-op to 6 players. 4 is kind of the comfortable number, but maybe, you know, why not 6? But just imagine, like, being able to reenact that scene from the trailer where Maya phase locks and converges the enemies together, and then Lilith comes tearing through with a phase walk and they just disintegrate. That would be awesome. Or the Blaster Master brick and a explosive action build. Everything good. And if they, you know, if they would bring back the Vault Hunters as playable characters, fix Brick's melee. Run through with a melee 0, melee Krieg, and a melee Brick. That'd be probably retarded fun, but I think it'd be fun. But again, that's just me. And you know, they really did a lot right with Borderlands 2, but that's just the couple missteps they did make were just so big. And you know, I know there's some things you can and can't patch, but some of the stuff they did patch, it's like, well, why even waste the time? And I don't think they worked on any of the, like, it's almost like they didn't balance the game past playthrough 1. Not so much that it was harder or too hard in true Vault Hunter mode, but almost like they didn't balance some of the skills right. And I think what puts a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth is that largely every broken ass combo of weapons that the Gunzerker can dual wield still exists, and he's basically a beast to begin with because of his skills. And you know, I mean, for example, if you watched any of the hunts that Borderlands 2 streamers did on Twitch TV, all of them used the Gunzerker. Now, once in a while they might bust out like a 0 or something, but I'd say 90% of them used Gunzerkers. And 0 is pretty powerful, but he's pretty sort of balanced. Yeah, but he's not like broken like Salvador is. And Maya's got some broken skills. That was kind of cool. You know, like Cloud Kill sucks ass. Most of Cataclysm sucks ass. I mean, I think you have to waste 10 points, maybe, if you, maybe it's 15 skill points just to get down to Ruin, and even really Ruin in endgame now with Digistruct Peak and OP8. Really about all Ruin's good for is slag. The shock damage from it, I think, I'll have to double check, so don't hold me to this, but I think the shock damage barely even depletes shields anymore. Then Flicker's kind of useless. As I said, Cloud Kill's useless. Actually, it'd probably be quicker to list the useful skills in the Cataclysm tree. I like Immolate. Chain Reaction's not too bad, but I don't know if that's like a cream of the crap type of thing, you know? It's the shiniest turd, maybe. Obviously Reaper and Ruin. Helios, I guess, is sort of okay, but Gage has a lot of useless skills. Krieg has a couple useless. There's a couple turds in his skill trees, but he's not too bad. And Axton leaves a little to be desired. Now I don't play a lot of Axton, so that's neither here nor there for me. So I don't know, but hopefully, like, in a perfect world, they'll take the best of Borderlands 1 and the best of Borderlands 2 and amalgamate that together, and Borderlands 3 will be completely fucking awesome and not have these huge hang-ups like 2 does. I mean, 1 has a couple hang-ups. I mean, it could be argued that the game's too easy. It could be argued that there's some really shit guns in the game. You know, that kind of stuff, but out of the 2 games, I'd say, you know, 1 has, overall, it's more fun, but like I said, I mean, I still have fun with 2. If I didn't have fun with 2, I wouldn't be playing it or posting videos for it. The only reason I'm not posting more videos for it at the moment is because I'm playing this one in Lords of Shadow 2 also, but you know, it is what it is. But we'll see. I mean, the fact that they're still supporting the game says something, you know, I mean, and they're not currently actively developing Borderlands 3, so hopefully they'll support 2 for a little bit longer, because that'll keep people interested, that'll keep momentum going, because they're gonna need the momentum to carry them into 3. You know, you don't want to lose people and then come out with 3 and everybody be like, eh. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, I really want to see the existing Vault Hunters all return. And if not initially, maybe at least the option of downloadable content. But we'll see where it goes. This is where I'm going to kind of start going off the rails here, because as I said, I get a little turned around and ass backwards confused in a couple parts here, so I may be ending this video shortly. See, kind of running out of shit to talk about. It's the only problem with moving to these slightly longer videos. I run out of steam partway through. Borderlands off of Steam. See, it's getting bad. How, anybody that watches these, I'm seeing some mixed reviews for Thief. I never played any of the past games. Well, I take that back. A friend of mine had one for whatever one was on the original Xbox, and I played maybe 10 minutes of it. It seemed intriguing, but you know, buy, rent, pass, what? You know, is it worth it? Like, if there's a Steam sale or something, is it worth downloading? Anybody know? I might check out the old ones, but we'll see. Oh, also, I think I talked about that earlier. My capture card will be coming, so I'm gonna probably test that out. Maybe I'll upload some Lords of Shadows footage and kind of get a little bit more in depth with my thoughts on that. I think maybe I might do some BioShock Infinite because Burial at Sea Part 2 should be coming out. And other than that, I'm not sure. I got Deadpool I gotta play. But I'm kind of, you know, playing Lords of Shadow too. I'm kind of getting into the hack and slash mindset. So I might do some Devil May Cry. Or the first Lords of Shadow. We'll see. Not sure yet, but definitely. I'll finish off the General Knoxx playthrough in the Claptrap DLC, and then here and there I'll do bits and pieces of the main story scaled up to level 69. You know, I'm not gonna abandon the Borderlands stuff quite yet. 'Cause as I said, I'm still having fun there, so we'll see how that goes. But if there's any, you know, like I said before, I do try to fulfill any suggestions. So if anybody has any suggestions as to what games to do, let me know, because I'll do them. Oh, you know, I still got some Mass Effect stuff I could do too. But I don't know, because the Mass Effect videos don't seem to be too popular. But I might still do them anyways, just for the hell of it. We'll see. But that's... Then, you know, like I said, with that capture card coming, I'll probably start doing some console stuff. I mean, there's not too many console games that I have left that I haven't played, but I might go back and play something that I haven't played in a while. I think really the only things I got that I haven't played are... maybe a Ratchet. Oh, got like one Ratchet and Clank game that I haven't played in a while, or at all, actually. Oops, at all. Whatever the last Ratchet and Clank was that came out. But, yeah, we'll see where it goes. Because I don't want to get too off the rails and neglect to play through them doing it, and then come back later on and be like, oh yeah, remember this? So. We'll see what happens. There's nothing really coming out that I have to have, or I really have this burning desire to play. Titanfall, maybe. But other than that, I mean, eventually, there's stuff coming out down the road, like Destiny, and now that I got that Wii U Bayonetta 2, if I end up buying a, well, I probably will end up buying a PS4 Infamous Second Son. But I mean, as far as stuff that's out right now, I'm still kind of getting caught up on some things. I got a pretty nasty backlog to get through. So we'll see what strikes my interest, and then I guess we'll go from there. I still got to finish Assassin's Creed 4. Actually, I got to see, there was a new driver update. Hopefully that helps with some of the performance on that game. And I don't know. But we'll see where, like I said, we'll see where it goes. And again, like, you know, if anybody has any suggestions, I'm open to suggestions. Ah, the world's largest bullet. And one thing about Borderlands 2 I enjoy more than this one is I do like mobbing. I'm not real keen on the raid bosses, mainly because, like I discussed earlier, they're artificially difficult. Given these guys these big ass health pools and Nova spam, that's not hard, that's just bullshit and annoying. Out of all the raid bosses, probably the dragons are the ones that aren't too bad. Maybe Gee. Yeah. He's not too bad. I mean, it's a bit of a grind getting his shield down, but I mean, it's an interesting mechanic. It's not Nova spam like Hyperius, which I feel like the Nova spam was like their, at the time, like especially with Hyperius, that was like their solution to people using the B, which by then they'd patched the multi-pellet, so I mean, it didn't apply full amp damage to every single pellet on listed projectile or listed pellets. But like, I don't know, that's just me. I'm not big on the raid boss thing. I'll do Pete here and there and the dragons here and there. Maybe I'll start doing some videos on dragon kills. I don't know. Out of the headhunters, Shock probably is my favorite because his fight has the potential to be difficult, but that's because of the mechanics of the minions healing him and things like that. The Snowman boss, Tinderflake, he wasn't, or Tinder Snowflake, he wasn't too bad. And the Happy Couple, they were a nice change of pace too. That was something a little bit different, but can't really say anything about the Waddle Gobbler because he didn't last too long. But you know, it's just, it is what it is. Hyperius and the raid bosses actually probably wouldn't be that difficult if they didn't have them, some of those stupid ass mechanics to them that they have to artificially inflate their difficulty, but they'd probably be on par with the headhunter bosses, maybe. Because I mean, really, if you take away Hyperius's Novas, how hard is Hyperius, truthfully? Not very. They could have kept the shield mechanic and tried to maybe figure out another way to put some pressure on you with from his attacks, as opposed to just having that Nova come out every, like, think it's like 60 seconds or something. I can't remember what the time frame is, but still, you know, they had some neat potential there with the shield transfer mechanic with his little minions and stuff, but they kind of screwed the pooch. No, not saying no, like a lot of people make the argument that like Crommerax was the best raid boss ever in Borderlands, and but Crommerax, it's not really a... How hard of a raid boss is he really? I mean, Crommerax really isn't that hard. Paramorphous wasn't too bad. There was some cheap cheese there, but he had the dumbass Nova. Although now on OP8, a lot of people, it's not so much how fast can you kill him, it's can you kill him before he hits his black hole stage. I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting all over Borderlands 2. Like I said, I really enjoy Borderlands 2, but like I'm of the mindset you can enjoy something, but yet still point out its flaws, you know? Because I mean, nothing's gonna be perfect. Nothing's completely 100%. No flaws, no blemishes, nothing. You know, I mean, there's always gonna be something there that. Kind of takes away a little bit of the shine on a diamond. Looking forward to, kind of veering off subject a little bit here, but it just popped in there. Looking forward to the season premiere for season 2 of Hannibal this week. Actually, by the time this video gets uploaded, it'll be on tonight, actually. Which, I don't have cable, so I'm going to have to catch it on Hulu or something. But I thoroughly enjoyed that show, the first season. I was a big fan of the books. I liked the original movies that had, you know, Anthony Hopkins in them. And this is a nice, fresh, different take on it that I enjoy. And then I think next week, it's either next week or the week after. I think it's next week, though. Season premiere for the new season of Bates Motel, which I also enjoyed once I got over the fact that Norman Bates had an iPhone. That was a little weird, but that's neither here nor there. Again, they updated it. But like with Bates Motel, they updated it, like, you know, they gave them modern technology and everything, but they still kind of had everything look old-timey. She drove an older car, the houses, the interiors and all that were designed kind of old-timey, the clothing and stuff a little old-timey, so that I don't understand. I mean, it's kind of cool because it doesn't really look like anything that's on right now, because it's like contemporary, but it's got that, like I said, it's got that old-fashioned feel to it with the way they dress and the way houses and such are decorated. But I think that show, much like Hannibal, is wonderfully cast, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I wasn't a huge Psycho buff. You know, I mean, I've seen the movie, I saw the remake, but I wasn't, like, I never ran out and bought the movie or anything. I wasn't, you know, like a huge die-hard Psycho fan. I mean, out of horror movies, probably my big favorite franchises were Hellraiser, which towards the end gets pretty hit and miss, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Friday the 13th, and The Evil Dead, which I really liked the Evil Dead remake. And when I said that I liked the Texas Chainsaw series, I liked the first remake. Well, I guess technically the only remake. it was... A lot of people hated it. Well, not a lot of people, but I mean, there was some hate for it. But the basic premise of any Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie is some dumb teenagers and a big dude with a chainsaw wearing skin masks. Well, what were you expecting, you know? And to me, personally, I kind of liked how they characterized Leatherface in the remake because, like in the original movies, he was kind of this mentally handicapped big guy that they kind of just bossed him around and he did it. And I guess he was, I don't know, ashamed of how he looked or whatever and made the masks out of people's faces and stuff. But I mean, like, they almost kind of made him sympathetic with the way that the original series was going. And I didn't like that because I didn't feel he should be sympathetic. The fact that the Leatherface in the remake was more of a... He was still kind of mentally stunted, but he was aware of what he was doing. You know, he wasn't... I mean, there was some manipulation on Arlie Ermey's part in the second movie, the beginning, when they made Texas Chainsaw the beginning. But for the most part, it didn't come across so much as, like... It seemed like he had a little bit more free will in what he was doing in the remake than he did in the original series, and like I said, I like that. But judging by the Texas Chainsaw 3D movie that came out, I don't think we can expect any more sequels or installments in the remake series. Which, okay, I can understand why they have cell phones and iPhones and shit like that in the Bates Motel show because it takes place in contemporary times. Why in the fuck in Texas Chainsaw 3D, and please, if somebody knows the answer to this, explain it to me because apparently I'm too dumb to figure this out. But okay, for those of you who haven't seen the movie starts off with, it takes place immediately after the original 1977 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it was 1977. I might be wrong on that, but I'm almost sure it's 77. But it takes place right at the end of that movie where I think her name's Marilyn Burns, gets into the back of the pickup truck, and that dude drives off with her, and Leatherface is standing out on the road flipping out and shit. And it picks up at that scene. And, you know, the sheriff comes and says he's got to arrest Leatherface and all that. And, you know, they're like, okay, whatever, blah, 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 blah. There's an exchange. Some local hillbillies show up. They want to take the law into their own hands. They burn down the house, kill the whole family, yada, yada, yada. They find a baby. Two of these lynch mob guys, or the one guy that's part of this lynch mob finds this baby. Kills the mother, takes the baby. Him and his wife adopt it. So fast forward. Now, like I said, 1977. Fast forward, she's maybe 20, 21 years old, somewhere in there. At the oldest, 20, 21 years old. And they're using stuff that would be available now? You know? And like I said, it's only been maybe 20, 21 years from 1977. So, benefit of the doubt. Oh no, wait, 1973. 1973. They burn down the house, find the baby. And find the girl. She's like, or the girl later on in the movie is like 20, 21 years old or so. So we'll place that at 94. You know, and at the very least, I would say it's 1996, 1997, somewhere in there. You know, just at the very least. there's a scene where a sheriff is using, or a deputy is using a iPhone with FaceTime in 1995, or somewhere along 1 or 2 year, give or take. How does that work? Because I don't understand it. The only thing I can say about the movie, Bill Moseley was in it for all of 5 fucking seconds. But, like I said, if you can explain to me why, after 20, 21 years from like 1973, and even benefit of the doubt, like I said, 1977 maybe, because that's when I thought the movie came out. How? Just doesn't make sense. But we'll see. Well, yeah, this is pretty much establishing that I'm lost at this point, so I think we're going to end this video here, because nothing really exciting happens. So, you know, again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and like I said, if you have any ideas, you know, just throw them out there in the comments, and I'll do my best to see if I can try out whatever you guys want to see. So, until next time, guys have everybody have a good one. Oh, wait, here. There's a dumbass mob. We'll kill them and then we'll end the video. Or not. I guess I killed them. So, alright. Anyways, like I said, guys, I want to thank everybody again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.